Were you vegan before you got into fitness and bodybuilding, or was that something that came afterwards?
No, I've only been vegan 4 years.
Wow.
I've taken a lot of time to educate myself, and I know you guys mentioned Game Changers.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a Kickstarter for me. But going back, I've been a trainer for like 10 years consistently. I'm a mom of 3 boys. They've since
Wow.
grown up. So I was a stay-at-home mom for like 5 years. I started training. I did a few bodybuilding shows. I was not vegan. And then the past 5 years, I really struggled with digestion problems, like IBS kind of problems, and
Yeah.
I could not figure out how to fix it. And randomly, right before the pandemic, I watched Game Changers.
Wow.
And just like everyone, I was like, how do these athletes, because I've competed against vegans in bodybuilding shows. I am a natural athlete, so I don't do like any, you know, extracurricular drugs for my
Good
for
for
my
you.
shows. But I was like, how did they build this muscle? Like it
Right.
just was out of my gourd. Like, how did they do that? So when I watched Game Changers and I figured out these Olympians are able to perform better and keep their muscle. And as vain as that sounds, I was like, all right, I can try it.
And recovery
Yeah.
time is quicker.
Everything gets better.
Right.
Everything.
Right.
Even to the bedroom.
That's what I was
ladies.
gonna say.
Everything.
Yes.
She's like definitely alluding.
She was like everything.
There's so many reasons to go vegan, and there's so many reasons why people start. The health thing really took off for me because I'm 18 years sober.
Amazing. Congratulations. That's incredible.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I stopped drinking at a very young age. I only drank for a few years. I stopped at 22, which is crazy.
Whoa.
And then I just
Yeah.
was like, well, I need a healthy vice. So I started working out a lot. This is even before children. And if I'm going to give up drinking, I'm going to be as healthy as possible. Well, then segue into after having children, still sober, pandemic, right before the pandemic, I see this documentary and I'm like, well, it just makes logical sense why eating
Right.
plant-based is healthier.
Mhm.
And when I could sat there and educated myself, watched all the right things, How Not to Die was a really good book for me
Whoa.
from
I
Dr.
never heard
Greger.
Yes,
You
I
guys
know that one.
I don't know that one.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yikes.
So it's like if you can understand and look at the clinical trials, that's the evidence. And he's not selling anything. So it was just facts, facts, facts. So I deep dived. And then I was almost at that point where like, everyone needs to do this. Like not even just for the planet, for the animals, like you're gonna die. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
like,
Could not
why
relate
doesn't
more.
everyone know that?
So what
Like
were
you
some
said,
of
preventative care?
Absolutely. And what's some of like the pushback or challenges that you face from the people around you, especially in that athletic community?
Well, like I carry most of my my mantra in my life is I don't push anything on anybody. If you want to know why I do what I do, why I'm sober, why I'm vegan, I will tell you. I think the number one way to really solidify anything you're doing is to educate yourself. So I didn't get a ton of pushback because I didn't push on even my children. I introduced it to them. I educated them.
Right.
And the thing about kids versus adults is they're still very empathetic.
Yeah.
They're very like, I don't want to hurt these animals. I want to better my planet. They care. And not to say adults don't, but we're a
But they
little
don't.
more self-serving, a little more vain, and we all suffer from that. But so it was something that they learned to slowly like progress into. I didn't want to force it on them 100% like anything. And that's how I live my life in general. So
Aw, you're a good
Attraction
mom.
rather than promotion, it sounds like. So what are some meal plans? Justina, you wanted to know.
I want to know, like, for someone who is like vegan and they're not with a vegan trainer or a vegan nutritionist, what's your advice when it comes to their meals when a woman in particular, just asking for a friend, wants to build some muscle? What would you suggest them to eat in a day?
well, you hit the nail on the head when you said junk food vegans versus regular vegans. In general, I really promote a balanced diet. You should always be able to have a little fun food here or there. Otherwise, you will go crazy.
Exactly.
This whole take a whole food group out like that.
Right.
It's not sustainable. If you can
Right.
get that in your head, if you cannot sustain it, you will not maintain it.
Exactly. Can't sustain it, you can't maintain it.
It's so logical. So
Right.
develop a balanced, healthy diet. Number one forefront should be health. Um, and health means getting more fruits and vegetables in your diet, period. That's a
Right.
whole food, plant-based diet because that prevents disease,
Right.
right? Vitamins, minerals, fiber, all of that is what's going to prevent disease. So coming forward to a meal plan, on top of that, you got to keep it fun. You can't keep it boring. Just because it's healthy doesn't mean it needs to be boring. And then educating yourself on the types of protein, because that's the other thing normal vegans don't understand is like you have to actively, like everyone else, make sure you get the right amount of protein.
Right.
I'm not doing that at all. I should.
I know, because we do intuitive eating. But Ashley, for someone who really needs a lot of help, can you be more specific?
The main protein sources that I like to go for, because it's more bang for your buck, more protein versus lower calories, is TVP, which is texturized vegetable protein, which really is just soybeans ground up like you would with pea protein, so it's more concentrated, and it comes in like little nuggets that almost look like chicken. It's dehydrated.
It's good.
It really isn't processed because it's one ingredient.
Right.
Hydrate it, cook it like chicken. Boom. 125 calories, 25 grams of protein.
Wow.
Better ratios than chicken, okay?
Right.
And then there's seitan. Seitan is absolutely amazing. It's very easy to make. I have recipes out on my Instagram. It's made from Vital Wheat gluten, 30 grams of protein, 150 to 170 grams of calories. You just cook it and make it just like you would chicken or beef or anything like that, but it's 100% clean and it's very easy to make. You can freeze it. Then you're going to pick a carb. You're going to pick a whole food carb, which is going to be wheat pasta, rice, brown or white. You're going to pick potatoes. Don't be afraid of carbs.
Right.
Our brain runs on carbs.
Yes.
And then a ton of veggies. And then you're going to pick your sauce. Don't make it boring. Throw some curry on it. Throw some salsa. Throw some teriyaki sauce.
Yes.
Boom. You have a million different meals.
What would you say to somebody that says, well, that's not a complete protein and you can only get that from animal-based foods?
Hogwash.
Good.